Candace and Shawn, it is so good to see you guys and talk to you. We've had conversations over the phone, but I've never done a face-to-face like this before with either of you. So very
Great
nice.
For the name and the voice.
Yeah.
And the
Yes. So tell us, where are you folks?
So we are in Toronto, Canada.
Great. What part of Toronto?
We're right Midtown. So our office is Midtown, and we work typically the downtown and central core of Toronto. So we're right in the trenches in Toronto.
Right in the heart. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about your team.
So there's myself, my husband Jason, and Shawn. Myself and Jason are practicing realtors, and we've been in the business over 15 years. And Shawn is also a licensed realtor for the last 10, and he is our operations manager.
Great. And how long has Shawn been on the team?
We just celebrated a year 2 weeks ago.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you, but feels like an eternity.
In a good way.
Together.
But family.
Yeah, I mean that in the best way possible. Not like, oh, it's only been a year. Been a year. I've not lived before this past year. It's been amazing.
Same. Shawn came in and changed our lives. So, and here we are.
That's fantastic. So tell us a little bit about, why did you bring Shawn on? What was going on with the team that made you feel like you needed to bring somebody else on?
Sure. We, like a lot of real estate teams, we're hiring administrative staff, and that role is a junior role and does not necessarily lend to helping us run the team and do a lot of the major projects we need from a leadership standpoint. When we decided we needed more of an operations manager, looking at our goals, what we want to accomplish. And so we decided in our hiring process to increase our efforts looking for someone who's more senior, because we wanted somebody to run the business. I've been a boss for 15 years. I need somebody to boss me around. So Shawn came in to not only boss us around and tell us what to do, he is here from a leadership perspective. Jason and I being out selling real estate and not always in the office, we needed somebody who could run the team and the business the way we do in our absence. And somebody who had a lot of experience, not only in real estate, but an operations manager experience. And so Shawn came into our lives at the perfect time with our production level. We just needed that. And we needed somebody to help us grow our team, because we want to, put some more agents on the team. And so that's what Shawn is here to help for. Basically be our boss.
Got it. So you and Jason were a team before. You both been doing real estate, you said 15 years. Is that right?
I'm 15 years. Jason's 8 years. Yeah.
Okay. So Jason joined you 8 years ago?
He didn't have a choice when he married me. So Jason, I basically said, you should be in real estate and get your license. So here we are.
Just a suggestion.
Just a suggestion, exactly. Like little voluntold. Yeah. But he loves it. And so 8 years later, here we are. It's been a fun ride. So it changes every day.
So what's the history of your admin staff then?
History was just junior paper pushers, loading up deals and keying in stuff to the database. Really no management around the database whatsoever. Mm-hmm. That was left to us to create and, run a really great processes and systems in the background. They were just people that could help with paperwork.
Just task oriented.
Versus proactive, and the ability to not like, I didn't want to micromanage. I wanted somebody who could come in, no matter what you're doing. I trust what you're doing. You're helping us run the team. And basically that's Shawn. Half the time I couldn't even tell you what he does, which is perfect in my opinion.
there's two types of admins up here. I'm sure it's the same everywhere, really. There's the admin that you tell what to do. It's like, hey, Shawn, I need you to do this today. Mm-hmm. Or admin that sort of takes the reins.
We're terrible at those things, by the way.
Whatever the
bull by horns, I think.
Insert here. But so I'm more of the take control and this is what we need to do. I mean, because I've been in it just as long as Candace, almost 11 of it licensed, but 4 of it unlicensed. I actually started on the front desk, then went to be an unlicensed assistant, and now a licensed assistant. So I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It gets exhausting. Being a realtor is exhausting because you're expected to be everything in one package. A hiring manager, an administrator, a marketer, a therapist. a salesperson, an operations manager. We're supposed to be everything, but
An
no one is
interior
built for that.
decorator, sometimes a babysitter.
Right, so many things. So, and we recognize we're not experts in all the areas. So our biggest pain point was that we needed someone to come in and alleviate some of those responsibilities off on us so that we can be out doing what we do best, which is connecting and having amazing relationships with our clients. And so Shawn takes a lot of the stuff off of our plate so that we can do that effectively. And he now runs a business, and it's a beautiful marriage.
It really is.
So, because this is, sorry to keep harping on this, but this is a big internal debate that a lot of people have. When they're really experienced, they get to this plateau, and it feels like a plateau, and they can't go to the next step. And some people are thinking right now today about bringing on their first administrative staff. They've never been a boss before. And there's other people that have been through 3 or 4 people in the last couple of years and are not excited about bringing on the next person. So I'm wondering, why the shift then in targeting Shawn versus the junior people that you had before? Was there a specific event? Was there just a series of events that led up to that?
The other administrators we had were not alleviating my pain points. So because I'm running a team and I'm out, having relationships with clients and selling houses, I was running off my feet. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to look and take inventory. What are all the things I do on a daily basis, and what do I need taken away from my life? So I built this inventory list of like 40 things I did on a daily basis and went, okay, I could get rid of 20 of these with the right person. So this time around when we hired, we really got clear about what are the things that we need them to be great at, and what are the things that if they're not great at, they could at least take it off our plates for now until we get in a second administrator. So as we build our team, and our next step is to build the team, we will get someone to come in and alleviate Shawn of some of his responsibilities so that he can focus more on what he's great at. So we're just trying to figure out, what are we all really great at? What are we not great at? And let's take the stuff that gives us no energy away from us and put it with somebody who's really great at it and actually gives them energy to do those jobs.
I think also the year, like before I joined 2017, it was just Candace and Jason, for a large part of it, just the two of them, no admin. So I think that probably was the push to be like, okay, let's go one step further than we were thinking.
Right this time.
Yeah, we need someone bigger and better.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, so we got, he was the best hire, bigger and better. He was the best hire we ever made. And we are all very clear on the fact that he's never allowed to leave us.
Oh, I'm retired. I'm 38 and I found the job. I'm retiring.
He is with us for he's entrenched in our family. Our kids love him. It's really important to have a great working relationship, but also a friendship, because Shawn and I are on top of each other every day. Not literally, but we are on top of each other every day. So we have to love each other. We have to be able to collaborate, everything.
Some people in the office just dubbed our names together, and we are now Shandace. Rather than Candace. We're just one person, basically.
Yeah. And everybody in my office has been trying to poach Shawn, but that's never going to happen.
Unpoachable.
Unpoachable. So I've talked to my team about you guys because we have the pleasure of rubbing shoulders a lot with what you guys are doing. And the things that I keep hearing about you guys is that you're very organized, you're very process oriented. You guys like to solve problems once and for all. You don't like to tackle the same problems over and over again. So, talk to me a little bit about what processes did you guys already have? Because I remember talking to Shawn, I think pretty soon after you joined the team. You and I had a conversation, and you were right away ready to dig in and start working on the processes. So talk to me about that process focus that you guys have in your business.
So before our Realvolve days, we were with another competitor. I won't say who.
But their initials are TP?
They may or may not be.
Okay.
We can either confirm or deny.
It was a great 10-year relationship. We had a lot of processes already in place with that database, because when we're using a database, we want to get entrenched in it. We don't want to just use the basics. We want to really maximize the functionality of the database. That one was really great. It served its purpose over that time. It wasn't automated, and a lot of our stuff was paper-based. So even though we had campaigns, or you guys call them workflows, built in, a lot of them were manually, what's the word I'm looking for, executed. So when we were looking at what are the things we need to do to improve our business and have it more streamlined, we were researching databases like yours that would have an automation component so that we could take the manual side out, still run similar systems, obviously always improve them because every time you change databases, you improve them, but take a lot of the manual side out. So after about 5 months of research, we settled with Realvolve because we loved the automation piece. We loved the interface itself, and we loved that it was written for realtors. A lot of real estate agents make the mistake of signing on to a database that is made for small businesses, but they're not specific for realtors. And we needed that portion because our workflows very much depend on a lot of the fields that a real estate agent would deal with versus a small business. So we didn't want to get into rewriting databases. We wanted one that was already up and functioning, had the automation that we could just go in and blow up with our stuff. So that's kind of where that is. Once we left the other database, it took us a year to properly execute Realvolve, not because of any other reason than we wanted to do it properly. We wanted to test it. We wanted to improve our system. So we did it slowly versus try and rush through it and not learn it. So we learned it properly. We kept the other database on while we were fixing all of our own things. And then after a year and we did all the tests of all of our plans, then we were ready. So it was really good.
We're both also super high perfectionists, right? So like we really went through with a fine-tooth comb exactly what we wanted, and then took 3 months to send it to ourselves so we can see what it looks like when our clients get it. And now here we are using it, day to day.
So how often are you, how much time do you spend in it, Shawn, versus how much time does Candace spend in it versus how much time does Jason spend in it?
So I'll speak to Jay and we never log in.
Okay.
I know it. I've learned it. We built it together, but like we were saying, like whose job is what, I don't need to log in because he logs in and tells me what to do. It's perfect.
It's perfect. So I do spend a fair bit of time. I would say about maybe 20 to 30% of my day is in there because I log in and it tells me we've designed a workflow aside from our buyer and seller workflows. We have a workflow in there for me because we have a touch point system here called a 33 touch point system. It keeps us top of mind by various activities, newsletters, phone calls, videos, all that
parties, all that stuff.
Parties, the planning, just regular pop-bys, birthday cards, anniversary cards.
So many things.
And that's all in my workflow. So I log in every day to see what my tasks are in the day and then do what else needs to sort of happen.
So for example, in that workflow, clients' birthday cards, for example, we have a reminder for birthday that Shawn can put all these crazy amounts of cards on my desk with dates so I know when I have to sign them and send them out. And, we wouldn't know all that stuff by heart if we hadn't set it up in the system to automatically tell us on a repeating yearly basis to do these things for our clients. That's just one small example.
Yeah, and I feel like we're single-handedly keeping Post-it notes in business because of all the Post-its that we put on these things.
Everyone is a Post-it.
So there's work. Every single one of your clients is on a workflow. You're touching each client then 33 times a year is the goal?
No, more than that. It's more.
It's more like 50.
It's more like 50, but it's an intrusive 50. Yeah. It is, for example, like our monthly newsletters is a video of me being silly and giving away something. We're not about, hey, real estate. Yeah. We're more about the relationships and how can we contribute to our clients' lives. So like our monthly video is always giving something away, whether it's like tickets to a show or if it's Google Homes, which is what we did last month.
Yeah.
Tickets to like the Canada's Wonderland or
CNE or
so many things, home show tickets, party invites because we throw 3 parties a year for our clients. So our videos are very much that. We have our birthday cards, our anniversary cards. We do, so many things. Christmas cards, invitations to our barbecues. Oh my God, I don't know. There's so many things.
There's a lot.
Our touch points are not real estate focused. They're client centric, very centric. Yeah.
Because this is a relationship business. So we treat it as relational rather than transactional, which is not like everybody else.
Got it. So it sounds definitely, I'm hearing that the processes are nice and tight. You've got everything driven out of Realvolve, and now everything's delegated properly so that the right people are spending time doing the right things. the benefit to the team internally is pretty crystal clear. It sounds like you're saving time. Nothing's falling through the cracks. What is it? What's different then about what the clients are getting versus what they had before in your old CRM? What's their life like now that you have Realvolve set up?
So their life is paperless. That was really important to us. Our processes before were very paper oriented. So even though it's kind of cool to get something in the old school mail format, we were wasting a lot of paper.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age where we don't even have to do any offers on paper. Everything's electronically signed and super easy and automatically stored in your Google Drive. So we figured we had to be on that train as well. So all of our closing plans, all of our communication outside of gifts to clients is all automated via email and text and bonbon videos and all these random things. So that in itself, hey, listen, we're helping to save the environment. We all have to make a difference. And that was a big one for us.
Plus, in all of the emails so the buyer closing plans, seller closing plans, there's about like a 40 plus activities that need to happen. A bunch of those are emails, and all those emails happen automatically, but it's nice for the client to have those on their phone whenever they need them. Whereas if it were paper, they'd be like, oh, I'll have to check that when I get home or something like that. Like all the information is at their fingertips when they need it.
So then what would be your advice? Because switching CRMs is a big decision.
It's huge. Yeah.
So why was it worth it?
It was worth it because our old CRM was becoming old. We didn't find the updates, and even the interface of the system. It just seemed like it was old. It was like maybe it's time to update the ease of use. The automation, those things were a huge factor. The automation was the biggest one because
I was just gonna say,
our closing plans are so they're so detailed. There's so many things we want to get out to our clients that for Shawn to spend 50% of his day communicating with our clients the old school way, it wouldn't give us time to have Shawn do things that we really need within the business. So having those automated and knowing that every client is taken care of the exact same way, no matter how much money, whether they buy a condo for $500,000 or a house for $8 million, they are all communicated with the same. They all get the beautiful customer service, all the same communication. The only things that change might be, different gifts and things like that. But consistency was really important to us so that people knew what to expect when they worked from us, and when they referred us, they know everybody's going to get treated the same. So that was a big deal for us.
And exactly, it allowed us, this is a repeat and referral business, right? Like Candace's business is 100% repeat and referral. So Realvolve allows us to stay top of mind but automatically, because it's fully automated in the background. So we can go out and perform at a higher level because we're not sort of bogged down with doing those little not meaningless tasks, but like,
the repetitive tasks that the computer can do better.
Exactly. Repetitive and time consuming.
Keeps it fully automated. And then it also allows us to push out that timeline of when we need a second admin person, because Realvolve is doing a lot of what I would need a person for in the background.
Nice. So it's like having another half of a person on staff, or
like it's saving us time, saving us money by doing that, and also keeping us on target. Like the fact that you can log in, and if you don't check something off, it's there the next day. Whereas other systems, it wasn't always the case. And also, it's pretty. Like it's nice to look at. Like if you're
it is so good. Yeah.
It sounds silly, but if you're in there as much as operations managers are, and as much as you need to be to run a successful business at the level that we do, I want it to be cute.
Yeah. No, I do think that makes more of a difference than people think about on a day-to-day basis. Easy on the eyes always helps.
So, and easy to navigate. Like, if I change an email, I jump into templates. Whereas the other one, it's like, you have to do the hokey pokey, turn yourself around before you get into where you need to go, right? Like you're opening 17 different windows and you're not getting it done.
Yeah, that is certainly something we spent a lot of time on early on, is the layout and the interface. And we've not really messed with it that much because so many people love it so much. So it's probably time for a little bit of a facelift, but I think the layout is really brilliant in that you kind of have those two columns. It doesn't require a ton of clicks to get things done.
Exactly.
True. Yeah, absolutely.
You can see a whole bunch of stuff as soon as you open up and run.
Yeah, it really is elegant and beautiful. So tell me about what should somebody else expect if they're switching from another system like Top Producer? Because you said you spent a year I shouldn't I shouldn't name any names because I think all those systems are fantastic, by the way. But
Yeah, they all have their
yeah, they all
own-
have pros and cons. Everybody likes their own flavor. I think our flavor's the best, but why?
as obviously.
Why should somebody switch? Or, if you spent a year configuring everything and you had two systems running, what should other people expect? Is that how much
Listen,
time they need to dedicate, or
a learning curve for any CRM.
Mhm.
And if people would actually take the time to do the training and really understand A, how important a CRM is in your business, and B, the functionality behind the scenes that will actually make your business easier to run.
Yeah.
That time is just, you have to dedicate time. Listen, we're business owners. We
Just
own
gonna
our own
say.
business. It just so happens that our product are houses.
Mhm.
So if we're running our own business, we would do this no matter what business we're in. We have to take time. So just have the patience.
So can you repeat that? You cut out for just a second. Can you repeat that last line?
I was just saying, like, we're business owners, right? So every business owner needs to take the time to make sure they have the right processes and systems in place. And part of that is training on whatever you're using.
Yeah.
So take the time to really dig into the training, really learn the aspects of Realvolve that make it so great to not only use, but as a management tool for your business. And you'll actually see time given back in your life if you can set it up
100%.
properly. Like, just have the patience to set it up. Listen, if you know that something's going to make your business run more smoothly and easier in less time, why wouldn't you take the time to learn it?
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing, is that people have to take the time to learn it. It just is what it is.
I agree with that
Yeah.
100%. Like, what you can expect, first of all, you're going to be overwhelmed because what Realvolve can do is incredible.
Yeah.
But haste makes waste, right? Like, you're only going to get out of it what you put into it, right? Which is, we need to put the work into it. So be prepared for that, for sure. But also, my advice would be, don't try to become an expert straight away. Like, know what it can do, so you have like foresight business in the future. But just up and running, piece by piece, step by step. You become an expert. You don't set out as an expert at the beginning. So you take some time, play around in it, and talk to other people, see how they utilize it. Like, I'm part of the Realvolve community on Facebook, and I hear a lot of people being like, oh, it doesn't do what I want it to do. And then I'll see a comment, people will be like, well, how much work did you put into it? And people will be like, none. Well, that's why you're not getting out of it what you need. Like, once it's up and running, the system is beautiful and it will run flawlessly for you. But you have to put the work into it.
I think that is something that makes us a little bit different, is that we're upfront about the fact that if you want a system that out of the gate does everything for you, you're not going to find it here, and probably not going to find it anywhere.
I'm not going to find that
anywhere.
Yeah, good luck.
It's a pipe dream. I mean, we're used to using Google and Apple and all these products that are very elegant, but they're not specific to anything, and there's not really actually that much automation built into those things.
No.
All this automation that you can get with Realvolve does require that you tell us, how much automation do you want, how much do you want your clients to have, how do you want to communicate with your team. But once you get that configured, it's totally worth it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And another great point that I also love about, because we've been in for a while in the business.
Yeah.
I know other CRMs, and Realvolve, what I love about it is you can target dates specifically, right? Like, number of days after start date, X number of days before and after closing date. Whereas other systems, it was, okay, well, we're going to guess that 90 days they need this. So like, it wasn't targeted to the closing date, which is what I love about Realvolve as well.
It's a huge point for sure.
Yeah, the accuracy level goes through the roof because we have so many dates, and you can schedule automation backwards and forwards on each of those dates individually, independent of anything else going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you have this the main I guess repeat and referral type of a campaign that you have running, the 33 touch, which you said is maybe 50 touches a year. So how long does that run before you have to reset it or change what's going on?
Actually, let's go back to that. So that customer touch system or client touch, part of it is written so that we know when to do things. So the reason why it's so long is because, every month we have to blog on our website and add it to our newsletter. So it basically says, blog on this date, load it to the website on this date, do this. So all those things happen consistently. So some of it is instruction for Shawn.
Yeah.
So when Shawn is no longer in that role, the person who takes on that administrative part of the role won't have any questions as to what their job is, because we've written it out basically step by step by step as to all the things that have to happen in the background to run our business smoothly and to communicate with our clients. So that's actually, we wrote it for us to run the business, which I don't know if some people realize you could do that with Realvolve.
Yeah.
Tell me what to do every day and what dates it falls on.
Yeah.
Like it's actually really good.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how much of a weight it is to just get that stuff into a system, because you know what to do, right? Shawn could log in every day and hand pick some tasks to do, but the fact that it tells you exactly what to do, who's doing what, which day, which client, makes it so much faster. You don't have to sit there and spin your wheels. You can just execute and talk to clients and make it awesome.
Yeah, and you're not flying by the seat of your pants anymore.
Yeah.
The common comment from agents are, I just feel like I'm all over the place and don't know what to do next, and I'm forgetting to do this and I forget to do that. And so this keeps you even keel, keeps you consistent, even keel. We know exactly what has to happen every day because we loaded it once in a Realvolve and it's there for life. Like beautiful.
And that's also, pardon me, that's also it too. Like too many people, like real estate affords you the flexibility to maybe not work a typical 9 to 5, but a lot of people are getting that you need the structure around not necessarily the 9 to 5, but you need the structure on what to do and when to do it. And Realvolve allows you to do that. And not only like does it save time for us now, like Candace doesn't have to tell me every day what to do. She doesn't know every day what I do because the system tells me, but it also is going to free up time for us in the future. Because when, like we said, when we do hire someone, I don't have to oversee them and like stand over their shoulder being like, you're doing that wrong, because it says right there in the system.
Yeah. And it's so beautiful how you guys think about this stuff ahead of time. That's the other thing that I think sets you guys apart, is you're thinking really far in advance. You're thinking, when I'm building these campaigns and we're running these campaigns, it's not always going to be the same people on the team doing everything, but Realvolve doesn't have to really change, because you can just basically stick somebody else into that role. So, and I know you have less than 4 minutes left, Candace, so I want to make sure we wrap up here on time. You guys are so good at thinking through all these problems and systems. You should be like teaching other teams and other real estate agents.
So we do. So I'm actually a real estate coach, and part of my coaching program are all the systems that we put in place in Realvolve. So we have a system in place for every single scenario. If you're a buyer, if you're a buyer and a seller, if you're just a seller, if you're a seller then buying first, or you're buying first and then selling second, we have pre-construction systems, we have condo systems, we have rental systems, we have all those workflows in place. So part of my coaching program is to help people like legitimately build a real estate business. So stop selling houses and build a business. And within that business, you're going to sell the houses and run it like a business. So we also provide all of our systems within Realvolve if you're in our coaching program. Part of it is that they have to learn how to use the system themselves, because if we just gave it to them, it's useless. Like, I don't know what, when you...
And I feel like that's happened with maybe some teams we've already coached.
We have to make sure that they learn it and go through the training so that they learn how to use a database. So when we're no longer in their lives, they know how to run their business successfully.
Teach them how to fish instead of just giving them a fish, right?
Right. And we're so systems oriented, and we're such big believers in having the stuff in place for your business that we want to make sure anybody we coach also understands the importance of it, knowing.
Oh, sorry, lost you again. Lost you again for a second there. Do you coach people outside of Canada?
We've coached everybody within Canada. A lot of people outside of Toronto as well, and different brokerages. We haven't had any requests from the States, but what we do can transfer to the US. The only thing is our plans are Canadian and Ontario based. Whenever we've coached somebody outside of the province, we've had to tailor our programs to match that province. So the same thing would have to happen for the States. We'd have to be able to match their systems, which are slightly different in the States. So right now it's just on a Canadian level.
Got it. So how do people find you?
I think in Realvolve they could look us up, right? Like they could see us and who we are. If they want to, they could email us directly through Realvolve, which is info@Schott Homes,
Okay.
or directly to me, Candace at Schott Homes. Happy to help, or even have an hour conversation on the phone. Have a lot of people picking my brain, just wanting to spend an hour with me, just to find out how we got started. So not everyone's ready for coaching typically at the beginning, but when they see everything we provide, most of the time they're like, let's do this. And we coach a lot of people at our office. They've all signed up for Realvolve. Anybody who does coach with us, our one stipulation is that they sign up for Realvolve, because we know how to use it so well. If they need us, we could help them tweak it. It's just easier to be on Realvolve for all of our clients. Yeah.
Great. So you said Candace at Schott Homes, SCHOTT homes.com.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Shawn and Candace. It was a real treat having you. I'm really glad that we got to finally talk face to face, and I got to learn a little bit more about the history. I still feel like we're barely scratching the surface, so we'll probably have to come back and do maybe a deeper dive into some of the systems that you guys are working on, if you would be gracious enough. We'd love to do that. But thank you so much again for your time, and look forward to chatting with you guys very soon. Bye for now.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.